Well, today I was kind of thinking, now that I got my shop all cleaned up here nice, toolboxes over here, and I got everything where it should go so that I can use it. But the only thing I'm liking is it would sure be nice to have a window here, and it would also let some nice light in. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll take all these things down, and I don't know whether I'm going to get her done or not, but I got a window. I picked it up at the second-hand shop a while back, and it would fit nicely in there. It's not a big one, but it's good enough. So we're going to see what we can do here. I'm going to keep all this stuff out of the way because I'm going to be needing some room. You often wonder where it all comes from, you know, but the only other problem I'm going to have is where I'm going to put all this stuff after I put a window in there. I've decided, I guess, to put the window this way. So I got the level to make a string across. I got that line in. That's level. Now we'll do this line. The size of the opening. Make sure it's level. There. Now I'm just going to cut that out. Another screw here we don't need. Another one up there. Another one over here. Over the years, I've hung everything up. The only issue is, as I said before, I think I said before, is that this shop heaves. It sits right on the ground. I never built it. This shop was built in 1928 or 1926. I think it was 26. But anyways, so I put gravel underneath. This was just a dirt floor when I come in. I put all gravel and 2x6s and put down. But it heaves a bit. And then it goes back into place in the spring. So that wall may be right at the moment isn't exactly kosher, isn't exactly straight, you know what I mean? Like it tilted up maybe a little wee bit. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just I'll leave a little gap like they did the old log cabins, so has a room to settle that window so it doesn't warp it and I can't get it open. So let's see how this goes. This is tricky. And there's a nail somewhere else right there. I think what I'll do, that's little slivers. I don't need to get them in my hand. There we go. Gotta hold your mouth right. So there. All done right. Vapor barrier, insulation. So we'll have enough, I put a piece of 2x4 there, one across the top, move this one over. We'll have enough insulation to caulk all around that brand new window. What happened was, after giving it some thought, this opening here, I made it too big, too tall. Because what happens is my toolbox over here would be cover up half of my window. And I can't go up any higher. What we're going to do is, I found another window off of, I took it out of an old door I had kicking around here years ago. A heavy old window, which means it's good. So I'm going to build the frame and set that thing right in there. That'll give me a nice window to look out of. And my toolbox will only come to about here. So I should still be able to see right out of it. Pays to keep all these old panes, you know. Like, you can't get glass like that nowadays. Like, that's heavy glass. I got 2 of them in that door, and I threw the door away and kept the windows. So I got a spare if I ever need it. There you go. So now we just gotta measure this out here, cut her off the right. I'm pretty sure I measured it here already. Oh, let's see what that is. That's 23 inches. If I'm right, this window here is 23 by 23 and a half. So we'll make it 23 down, so it gives me a ½ an inch more. 23 and a half. Okay, so we're going to have to just build this out just a smidgen. But that's all right. We'll cut this board off here. Take that out. Put another, frame it in. Should work out pretty good. Can move that one right over it into here. People don't want to watch an hour of me trying to take it down. Thing out of a package. There we go. Boy. So, put that in with the good ones. Yeah, what did I do with that Allen key? Supposed to go on the end here, George. You didn't put it there. Oh, it's got a... That's going to be the next thing, isn't it? Even that's going to be a challenge. Well, maybe I can cut half of it. There we go. Yeah, you can see there. Had nails in it right here. I cut through one of them. So that's the only issue is you got to be a little careful with these old buildings. Is it's not an issue cutting the nails off. That's okay. The problem that you could arise is that when you're cutting these nails with a bit like I have, it'll cut wood and steel. The problem is you could get a spark in here, and this here or up inside there, and this is you gotta watch all the time. If you're just unsure that it's not sparking or anything that could catch a fire, just throw a little water on it before you cut it. Anyways, so this is where that window should go now. Yeah, like so. When I leave the room, as I said, we'll just call this commercial breaks. You sit back and have a quick sip at your coffee. I'll go grab a 2x4. There we go. I got one piece here. That'll go across there nicely. I went and had a bite to eat and had problems in the house with a darn sink leaking. I have an old antique sink, a solid cast iron with porcelain line. It weighs a ton and it sits in there where it's supposed to, but where you screw the drain onto the bottom, all rotted away. So, of course, there was issues, and took me an hour or so to get that fixed. Running around and getting parts and things. But what are you going to do? Oh. So now, I think this was right. 23 1/4. Let's see if that's going to be the right opening. That's 23. I think if I put another piece up across there, that opening should just be about right. It's got to come out like that. So, we just 23 1/2 and 2. 23 1/2 and 2. 23 1/2 and 2. Double check that. Same as I say 23 3/4. Pays to double check. Again, I'll just make it a smidgen longer. I can always cut it off, but I can't put it back on. Pays to have all the right kind. There we go. All right. Got the holes all cut there. Now we just gotta put a little bit of a mask on here. It saves me sneezing all night long. Let's see now if we can cut that out of there. There's that darn nail. I don't know. Piece over on that side. screw in it. There. Oh, we got light anyway. Cut that off somehow. Them are the ones that gets me over the head. That's not way too big. Let me get over on that side. Oops. Maybe that one. Blade coming. That's that. Yeah, I can just tack that aluminum back down there. So, I got a hole in the wall. I'll let you have a look there so you can see my view now. There's an old mill there across the street. Be kind of nice. I like looking at it when all the trees get out and bud, and got a maple coming right there. Another big one right there. He's a huge one. That's another big old one over across in the other yard there, just behind our property. It looks nice. And get the leaves. I thought that big one over there, I thought that one was dying, but no. She come back. Anyways, that's that. Now all we got to do is pieces of trim here, old pieces I cut off of wood. Been sitting around in my shop now for about 2 or 3 years. Figured maybe I better hang on to it, and now I'm glad I did. This other old hammer, I've had a lot of wood-handled hammers, but this crazy old thing, I bought her for 50 cents about 40 years ago, or 35 years ago, a long time ago. And that thing, I just like it. You know, everybody, any carpenter, they got their own hammer, and they don't like nobody touching it. And I can understand that, you know, because I just love this hammer. And I try all other kinds. I got about probably 15 of them somewhere, but I just keep going back to this. I just don't like the feel of it for some reason. Uh-huh. 22 1/4. Get enough out of this one? Yep. Some people ask in my comments once in a while, how come I don't use my miter saw for cutting little things like this? Well, the simple reason is I love the sound of that thing. That radio arm saw's got a sound of its own. There, nice fit. So, now we got all the trim around it. I got to put a little bit of another piece in here and there. And I'm getting tired for the day, so I think what I'm going to do is just put back the insulation in here, screw the window on a bit from the outside. I mean, that aluminum that kind of pushed out a bit when I cut it. And that's it. I got a nice window in my shop. And didn't cost me nothing but, what do you call it, other than things for the blades. And I'll put that in there. Technically, you don't even need insulation in the shop. I'll tell you, it gets so hot in here. But you can get down to 30, 40 below Fahrenheit. So some days, not as bad as it used to be up in this country, I'll tell you. Sometimes she got so darn cold that you couldn't even breathe hardly. All right, so I just cut a piece. I got that old piece that I took off of that. Kind of raggedy, but we'll make it work. So we'll use these gloves. That darn stuff get heat slivers. Good fence, but I always like to check it. 24, yep. I bought that fence off of up at Durham, Ontario, Canada, at a wood show. Another good investment I made. They had, but I bought that probably about 20 years ago. Oh no, got to be 30 years, 35 years ago. One of the first ones that come out, and it's a great fence. Another thing I like to do when I cut wood, anything I put through the table saw at all, I like to just set the wood there, bring that blade up just so it cuts it, just above what the thickness you're cutting. You always do it pretty safe then. And this table saw, the regular motor that was on it burned out years ago. And that's a real heavy duty, that's about a 5 horse, but an induction engine, so I put it on. The only trouble is it's too heavy, it doesn't start right, so I just have to kind of give it a helping hand to get her going. Oh, I guess you got to plug her in, George. Yeah. What did I do with that plug now? Oh, there we go. There we go. So we got that the right size. Getting late in the day, so I gotta make sure that goes that way. I just gotta find the width. 15 1/4. Yep, 15. Okay. Always nice to have a nice sharp blade. There we go. Good. That's beautiful. You almost think we knew what we're doing. All right. So, that's that. In another video, I'll make it, putting the trim around it, around there, and put a nice little, I got some of this old wood here, maybe with a beveled tongue and groove, maybe that would look like a little, something, you know, a little narrow piece all the way around. I got enough to do it, it should be. I'll see then. Yeah. Yeah. Put them up there. Some nails in them. I don't want to take that back outside after. So, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed watching me make all these mistakes and everything. But as I say, in an old building, you just do what you got to do, and whatever happens, it always ends up nice. I've always had that. Doesn't matter how things seem to go wrong while you're doing it, in the end, it always comes together. And that's why I stress to people to, like I like to say, reviving the simple life. That's the way we used to do it years ago. You just do what you can do with what you got at the time. And so I just made do with everything here. The insulation that was in here went down here. Plug box, just moved it over here. You know, an old piece of wiring I had, just, you know, use that. That's the whole thing. And anybody can do these things. It just doesn't matter. You don't have to be, what should I say, you don't have to go to school or college or anything like that to learn these things. And you can just do them yourself. You just have to work away at it, you know, and it'll all come together. So, you've been watching Reviving the Simple Life. I'm George Walters. Until the next time, have a great day.